Quote, one tall tree does not make a forest unless other trees grow to the same height. You cannot have a large group. A true leader is devoted to raising capable people to whom the future can be entrusted. Unquote. Daisaku Ikeda.
डॉक्टर दाइसाकु इकेदा कहते हैं, एक ऊंचे पेड़ से जंगल नहीं बनता। जब तक अन्य पेड़ समान ऊंचाई तक नहीं बढ़ते, आपके पास एक बड़ा उपवन नहीं हो सकता। एक सच्चा नेता सक्षम लोगों को आगे बढ़ाने के प्रति हमेशा समर्पित रहता है।
Hello and a warm welcome to the first guest episode of Making Way to #Inclusive Community, a podcast of hope, a collaborative initiative by Little Storytellers and Bachpan Ke Pitare Se.
The above quote from Dr. Daisaku Ikeda holds so true for our guest in today's episode. In the previous episode, we asked our audience if they had heard of a visually impaired teacher teaching in a CBSE school.
Yes, and you had also told that Mrs. Suguna, the visually challenged teacher, was appointed by Dr. Nirmala Krishnan. I'm sure, along with me, even the audience is curious to meet Dr. Nirmala.
Okay, no more waiting, Neena. We have with us Dr. Nirmala Krishnan today, who was the principal of the Mahindra World School in 2016, and she had appointed Mrs. Suguna. But before we formally introduce Dr. Nirmala, I would like to share a personal story with you and the audience today. My first interaction with Nirmala ma'am took place around July or August 2019. Those days, I was busy taking care of my responsibilities as a homemaker and enjoyed my me time teaching English to a handful of students at home. I had almost given up on my dream of having a career, being independent, and so many other things. And then I met Nirmala ma'am, smartly dressed in pants and a formal shirt with a big, broad smile, who looked so attractive in a simple hairstyle. At that time, I was not aware of her accomplishments and stature. But somehow I felt an instant connect with her, and something changed inside me that day. I don't know why, but somehow I felt if she can do it, so can I. And I feel this is the quality of great leaders, that they inspire others with their mere presence and conduct. Gradually, I started looking at things differently. And look, here I am. Actually, we are interviewing her in our podcast. I have never said that aloud. But today, I take this opportunity to say it loud that she is one of the few people who are an inspiration behind Bachpan Ke Pitare Se and this series specifically. My awareness to the need of talking about inclusivity comes from her innovative project, Art to Connect. Well, I can go on and on praising her for all that she has done and she's doing. But let me stop here.
Yes, Deepa. Let's take this opportunity to introduce Nirmala ma'am today. She is a recipient of 2 national awards in education. She was a former country head of education for the Jindal Group, former executive advisor for Soka International School, Malaysia, and former principal of the renowned Mahindra World School, where she appointed the visually impaired teacher, Mrs. Suguna. She is a researcher in Japanese education system and is the author of Meet the Humanistic Leader in You, which is available on Amazon. It is loved and read by people across the world. She has mentored more than 65,000 educators and nurtured more than 4,000 school and college leaders. Now, this blew my mind off when I read that her program, I Am a Responsible Girl, transformed the lives of more than 2 lakh girls. Nirmala ma'am is also the founder of 2 innovative projects, Art to Connect and the 20s.
Indeed, reading her book was a very unique experience, as each chapter is about a new crazy experiment in education. So, without further ado, let's welcome Nirmala ma'am. Hearty welcome, ma'am, and it's like a dream come true for us to have you as our first guest.
Thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Nina. It's a very humbling experience for me to be on your podcast today. So, it's three women trying to do something meaningful in life today. So, let's move on.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So, ma'am, in your book, I saw your photo with Mr. Anand Mahindra and his tweet about your work from 2016. It read, "When I list things that make me come to work every day, it is stories like this which are greatest motivators," followed by the link of the news published in the Hindu. And I'm really curious to know about Mrs. Suguna and Mr. Anand Mahindra's tweet. Please tell us more about it. How did you decide to appoint her in a mainstream school? And how did you convince the school management, other teachers, and most importantly, what was the reaction of the parents and students?
Nina, let me tell you, this dates back to 2009 when I literally had to wear a big border sari because I was very young and I was appearing for this principal interview for the Mahindra World School. And at that point of time, I had to appear really old because, those were the times when the principals had to be 50 plus to become the principal of a school, and that too a Mahindra World School. And I was barely in my early 30s. And I would like to thank the Mahindra management. And again, there were three women who were instrumental in giving me this opportunity to head Mr. Anand Mahindra's school. Going further, this particular news that you're talking about which Mr. Anand Mahindra tweeted, yes, it did make a huge difference in everyone's life. It was 2016, the first quarter, when one of my friends, who's the HR head in Infosys, he called up and he usually calls me, "Hey, principal, where are you?" And I was like, "Yeah." That's how he calls me. And this is Mr. Sujit. And he says, I want you to meet somebody. And this particular person was brought to me by another colleague in Infosys. So the story goes like this. He's Mr. Santanam, and he sees this lady who is visually challenged, and she's standing at Tambram railway station, which is for our local trains. And she has this little girl sitting leaning on her feet on the station and reading a book. So this lady is teaching. That caught his attention, and he clicked this picture and shared it with Sujit. And when Sujit inquired, he got to know that this lady has completed her BA B.Ed. That means she was graduate, she had her B.Ed degree, and still she was not in a school teaching because she was visually challenged. So I said, great, let's meet her. And when I met her, I asked a lot of questions to her. And ours was like, the best school in the town, and all children would speak English, and how will she manage the whole thing? She was so cool answering. She said, "You know what, ma'am? I am from Saurashtra. I came to Tamil Nadu and I learned the local language. So English is just another language I can definitely manage." That truly impressed me. And the confidence with which she was responding to my questions, that really set her apart. So what I thought was, see, the criteria that the education department sets is B.Ed, and this lady has everything that is needed, plus this great self-confidence. So it was an instinctive moment. I think I'm blessed to be part of this moment in history where, we became the first CBSE school to appoint a visually challenged teacher in our school. So I just went ahead. I said, Suguna, you're going to join our school. and instantly I took the decision, and she was appointed with a starting salary of about 20,000. And also I went on to admit both her children, who were till then in and out of government schools. It was a bold step, and maybe that touched the heart of Mr. Anand Mahindra, and he tweeted that way. So the journey was just in the initial stages by appointing her. After that, right, you asked management. Yes, let me tell you, like I've worked in various organizations, but the way Mahindra management works with us is very unique. There is a culture, there is respect, and there is a lot of autonomy that was given to me as a school principal. So I could take this decision, and my management supported me. And I did a brainstorming session with my students first. I said, we are going to have this visually challenged teacher in our school, and talk to them about their experiences of meeting visually challenged people and all that. And that is when grade 9, this kid Sanjay Krishna, he stood up. He said, "Ma'am, the way the bats move around, we can also think of some technology that can help Miss Suguna move in our campus." So appointing her was the beginning of a huge journey of transformation in the minds and hearts of everyone involved in Mahindra World School. So children started becoming more compassionate. Going forward, they were the ones who would go to the staff room, pick her up, bring her to the class, and drop her back.
Wow.
Yeah. Another thing that Suguna shared with me was, "Ma'am, I used to ask, how is it, do they make too much noise because they know they cannot see you and all that?" And she would turn around and say, "No, ma'am, my class is always quiet. They know to manage, children know." And she was given grade 3 and 4 to teach Tamil.
Oh.
Yeah. And another thing was, I could gather that she cannot read from a regular textbook, so I reached out to people who would translate our textbooks of grade 3 and 4 into Braille. Yeah, that she was so moved. She said, "Oh my God, this is dream come true," and she believed. And her husband also is visually challenged. So these two people were there, Elumalai, and every wedding anniversary she'll give me a call, and her children will call on their birthdays. Recently, her daughter Supriya, when she answered her grade 10 examination, she used to call her each day. Though I have moved out of the organization the very next year, 2016, we appointed her. 2017, I moved out. Now, coming to the teachers, see, we know that it is a very, very tough job being a teacher in any school. You are managing so many things. So obviously there is some level of, feeling that, oh, I'm doing so much. Plus, home, family and everything. So having Suguna in the campus made things very different for my teammates. They would see this lady wearing matching blouse and sari, which was pinned so neatly, and reach school on time. And about that, during lunch break, you should see them. She will open her tiffin with, all the items that she will prepare. And I still remember the, not khara, what is that sweet kesari bath she would prepare for her birthdays and, wedding anniversaries. Sweet, sweet with suji.
Suji,
yeah. So, sweet, I don't know what kesari bath, I think.
Kesari bath.
Yeah. So she would prepare that and bring, and all these teachers in my school, they would look at her and wonder how come she didn't miss the salt in the sambar. She cannot see, and still she prepares such lovely meal and packs her children's tiffin and all that. So it brought a culture of more humanistic approach to education among the teachers, the children. the parents in the school who would very proudly share with their friends. Otherwise they would talk about the marks of their children or the sports achievement of their children. We started observing a revolution in the way parents started talking about our school. Oh, you know what, ours is the first school in the country to have a visually challenged teacher, and my children, they get to learn from her.
Correct. The proud parent.
Yeah, so a whole culture of humanistic approach to education was initiated, and I'm humbled that God, decided that I should be part of this journey. And I was like a small ant trying to do whatever best.
Yes.
So hope, Nina, that I've answered your question.
Yes. And I'm so happy to know the story and also about Suguna and all the teachers. It's really an inspiring, what you call journey, which life story you can call it. Thank you, ma'am.
And I'm sure listening to this, even now people won't hesitate, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So moving on to the next question, and when I was reading your book, this book, I read about this inclusive sports day at your school. So please tell us what exactly, when we talk about inclusive sports day, so what exactly does diversity and inclusion mean, and how important is it, and what led you to the inclusive sports day? Because this is the first time I'm reading it. We all have been, the three of us have been into different schools and we have been educators, but as teachers, Nina and I, we haven't heard about this inclusive sports day ever.
Correct.
It was the first time I read it in your book, this term. So could you please elaborate on that?
Sure. Yeah. Since this series is about inclusivity and diversity.
Yes.
So again, I'm known for all these radical experiments in education, which is centered around the humanistic approach, because I'm a researcher who's researched different education systems across the world, and I picked up one particular education system called a Soka education system from Japan, which I have researched, and these are experiments from there. And what I did was I decided to have this inclusive sports day for the primary children, because they need to interact with children with special needs and lose basically their fear. See, what Suguna used to share is, to cross a road, people would not touch her hand, because usually when some old person wants to cross the road, you would hold their hand and help them cross. But for visually challenged people, they will only hold the stick. There is a fear factor in the minds of people to even touch people who cannot see. So this was shared by Suguna, which was quite realistic and surprising also. So before Suguna joined, this inclusive sports day was in place in our school, where I'll just explain the process. That is, we will identify a particular school which has children with special needs, and I'll go and speak to the education officer, seek permission. My admin officer will seek that. Then my sports teacher will go over there and interact with the sports teacher of their school. And then before that, our teachers in the meeting, we used to have meeting every Thursday. So we will decide which are the sports that our children will participate in. So the sports day used to be, 3 levels. 3 things used to happen for the junior sports day. One is sports activities for the children in our school. Then there used to be few sports where children from special school and our children will participate together. And third was some sports activities for parents. So after that, our sports teacher will train their children for 1 month in the sport in which they are going to participate with our children.
Okay.
So nothing was a surprise. It was all well trained, because because it is more about respecting those children, right? So because they'll be in a new environment, and every year grade 7 was assigned to take care of these children who come from the special school.
Okay.
So our grade 7 children will go previous day invite. I mean, the invitation would have gone, but just to interact with them. Then that day, early morning, they will all take baths, wear nice clothes, and they will come to our school. We will send the bus to pick them up. At the entrance of the school, the duty for grade 7 students start. So they will be assigned students. Each of them, or 2-3 of them from our school, will be assigned children with special needs who will be with them throughout the day as volunteers, right? Like the chaperones we have, and they will take them. They will have breakfast, then they will come for these pods. So I'll just share a few events that will be exciting. Like for example, children who have got speech and auditory, impairment. They cannot hear and speak. They right, and they will be with our children, holding their hand, and our children, their eyes will be tied. So those children can see, and our school children cannot see, but they can hear and speak.
So different.
Yes. And they will hold the hand, and the whistle, when the whistle blows, our children can hear, but they cannot see. So they will press the hand of these children who cannot hear. And the race will start. But their children can see.
Correct.
Our children cannot see. So they will be the one who will be directing this race. And they will hold their hand, and these people with their closed eyes have to trust them and run the race. So huge trust factor is developed between children, and they understand. And there is another game where those children who are in wheelchair and our children, so they will compete. So they will be on the wheelchair, our children will be on a chair put next to them. And they will be given this ball, and they have to roll the ball to the furthest distance. So they'll be competing at the same level. Both of them are seated on the chair, and they have to come. So there were many games which were developed where a lot of understanding has to be there between the teammates, and the fear factor. And then they will have lunch, they will have more games, and they will bring them to the bus with a lot of takeaway gifts for them. We will also inquire what they need for their school, say for example fans, books, and other things. So our children will, so we used to have this Diwali Mela through which we used to do fundraising. So our children were not used to going and asking for money from their parents for these activities. They have to raise funds by working hard. So
that's great.
Yeah,
that's different. In fact, a much better way to raise funds.
So children know that it is the money that I have earned, and I'm going to use it for the society. So that was created in the school, and they will use that fund. There will be a finance manager who will look into the fund collection and will say that we have so much a budget, and to buy 3 fans we need this budget. They will pull out that money, go and buy it with the teachers and keep it ready for them. So all these activities used to raise children into socially acceptable people who are more sensitive to society, I will say that way.
Correct.
So this was a small glimpse, but being there would have been more exciting.
Correct. You have raised our excitement level as well.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, how come no other school is thinking of that?
Correct.
It is not difficult if it is planned properly. Meticulous planning can make everything, because the most important thing is to make sure that they are people with special needs. Let me make one thing very clear. They will dislike you if you show pity.
Correct.
Yes.
They do not want pity, because they feel they're complete.
Yes.
Right? So it's just that they need a compassionate person who understands them.
Correct.
So can we raise our children to be that? That was our target in the school.
And I think this made the kids more what should we call responsible also, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Aware of their own responsibilities as human beings, as individuals, and who can understand the needs of others. So there were so many things that were taken care of by doing these acts.
Yeah. I think this is one of the life skills that we have to teach our kids. Missing somewhere in our, the coming up generation, where they don't have feelings for others. Mostly what I came across is, but when you make them understand, they try to look into that direction as well. So, yeah.
Correct.
You have raised the curiosity in me. The next question that I was about to ask you is about mostly we see that many times people, someone in the family or someone close is coming under differently abled or with special needs. That is when we think of doing something, learning ourselves and doing something. Now, what was your inspiration behind all these initiatives?
You asked a very tough question. Because, yes, you're right when you say that, either you should have had somebody in your family, or you should have interacted with somebody with special needs to think of such things. And that is why very, very humbly I use the terminology that, God just chose me. Because by God's grace, there is there are different kind of people who go through, who are with special needs. Either they are born with it, or either after an accident or something of that sort, right? So we may be born normal and fine, but maybe due to a disease or an accident, we are into the we are considered to be people with special needs. So that is how it is. But for me, I think I owe it to my parents and also my mentor, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda. So my parents have always sensitized me towards being compassionate to everyone. And Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, my mentor, what he has taught me is that one person standing in front of you, that can maybe anyone, that one person standing in front of you, can you give hope to that person?
Oh, such beautiful thought. Correct.
Yeah. So it's not, I don't see any difference between people who are not with special needs and people with special needs. But as an educator, as the principal of a school, my mind used to always work towards, how do I raise my children to be, someone who can touch hearts, who can transform lives. I don't just believe in just touching hearts. They have to transform lives.
Correct.
So where will they learn if they don't see a very strong leader who is transforming lives? It's easy for them. They see it in everyday interaction with somebody who's visually challenged, or during their sports day, or raising money for such events. They are part of it day in and day out.
Correct.
So they understand that transforming lives, because we always talk about touching hearts. We don't talk about transforming lives.
Correct.
That transforming lives, I think, was taught to me by my mentor, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda. And I owe it to him for that.
Yeah. I think that transformation is one thing that we need to work on, and everybody can be part of it, right? Rather than touching heart, what are the changes that you could make by what you did, right? Something like that. And I really appreciate the way you look into, and yes, of course, as you said, thanks to your parents for guiding you so well. And I hope that those who are listening to us, the parents, our generation or the recent generation parents, they need to listen to this and think about transforming life rather than touching life, right?
We have to touch hearts, not that we don't have to touch hearts, but along with touching hearts, let us not miss an opportunity to transform lives.
Correct.
So both go in, it is a symbiotic
Ah.
ecosystem we create. So how do we create a society which is very, very symbiotic? Because nobody is born with everything.
Correct.
Right? I need something. I cannot sit on top of a mountain and say, I have everything. I don't need anyone. I need the milkman. I need the newspaper fellow. I need somebody. I need everybody in my life. Right? It's a symbiotic system.
Yes.
So in this symbiotic system, how do we raise children in school so that they go on to create a more compassionate symbiotic system?
Correct.
So there's one way saying that, okay, fine, I'm dependent on everybody. I just throw money and I get. That is one way of looking at things. Second way is, can I be more compassionately creating this symbiotic ecosystem?
Yes.
So very true. Very true. Second thing is something that strikes me, because money is not just everything.
Yes.
So, yeah, ma'am. And you have very clearly, given me the clarity what the inspiration was behind such initiative. And I think this clarity will go down with all the of our listeners. And touching heart, at the same time transforming lives. Thank you.
And that's what ma'am inspired us to do, na? That's why Bachpan Ke Pitare se little storytellers are again trying to touch lives, transform. Even if a single person, अगर हम इस initiative से अगर एक इंसान के थोड़े से मतलब thinking में थोड़ा सा भी change आता है, तो I think our job is done, right? So इसीलिए there are so many activities that we are going to ask the listeners to do. So talking about activities, there is this Art to Connect, an initiative by Nirmala ma'am, actually जिसकी वजह से what is inclusivity, what is diversity, and there is a need to talk about it. I was मतलब मुझे awareness सिर्फ उस Art to Connect के through आया था. So ma'am, please tell us about Art to Connect. What exactly was it? Though I have followed, but then I was so much into it that I wanted to spread this message, and I wanted everyone to know what is Art to Connect.
Yeah, sure. So everybody has this line, and I used to always wonder, ये line मेरी जिंदगी में कब आएगा? And that is, quitting a big, high-paying corporate job. So I was working as a country head education those days. It was 2019, and I was sitting home and I was thinking, what next? Because abhi, worked as a country head and kar liya, to ab kya? So that is the time I was sitting and I was wondering, and I was always inclined to people with special needs. And I've seen that, simple example, agar aapko do, though today we don't use too much of ATM, but those days we used to use ATM to withdraw money. But when you go and stand over there, you will see somebody on the wheelchair who cannot access the ATMs.
Yes,
correct.
The reason is the person sitting and writing the policy to create ATM, maybe that person never interacted with someone with special needs.
Exactly.
Not that they don't want to do it, but a line, they just had to add one line in the policy stating that every ATM should have a ramp. Like, for example, today, all the CBSE school have got this norm that every school should have a ramp and it should have a lift, which is mandated by CBSE. Now, the same, if somebody who's writing policy for the ATM would have written, we would have never had this challenge. So I sat back and I thought of this example and I said, how do I make people who are writing policies be sensitized towards people with special needs? That is when the whole idea of Art to Connect came. So I was thinking, usually what we see is people with special needs are always looking out for programs organized by the regular school. But I wanted to reverse it. मैंने इसको Art to Connect I created, saying that children from the regular school, it is a competition for them. And in the competition, they have to participate with another person, but that other person has to be somebody with special needs.
Okay.
So to win this competition, you have to find out another person with special needs, and you have to partner with them. And see the beauty of it. When I announced it, I said you can either sing, dance, paint, or create music with somebody who's with special needs. And same like you, Deepa and Nina, like the way you spoke, even one person who's listening to this podcast, right? Today we are not having 1 million listeners, we are having one listener. So even if that one listener feels transformed from their heart, saying that I want to transform the society and do something. So I started Art to Connect thinking that at least one child in one school will be transformed. To my surprise, when I announced, there were 103 schools across India that registered.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. It was, yes, more than 103, I think. Huh?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. These schools, what they did was, I'll tell you all the beautiful things happened. Like there is a school in Punjab, and there was an entry which came, like, I had to shortlist. So they had to create a video. So they had to interact with children and then create a video. It was like those days, pre-COVID it was. So creating video and all was not normal then.
Correct.
So they had to create a video and then, record their transformation experience and send it as a finalist. So they were shortlisted finalists. Usme se ek tha from Punjab, this child who is singing with a child with cerebral palsy.
Oh, cool.
Yes. There is a school in Mumbai where this child is painting with a child who cannot speak and hear, like auditory and speech impaired. And the whole experience of them trying to communicate, okay, we need to do. There is they were children from Bengal. There was this school from Kochi that participated where children painted with children with MR. I mean, maybe I didn't think that children with MR, that is mental retardation, will come forward to painting. Right? Then from Chennai, they were participants. So all over India, Delhi, then central India, they were participants. So I was moved, and I said, this is what the future is all about. That means this is where we are going to raise a society of children, because these children form the society. So raise a society of children who are sensitive, who have interacted with people with special needs, who are sensitized. So when they sit on that table to write the policy, right? Then they will write policies in a manner where they will include people with special needs.
Correct.
So the whole intent, the whole intent of Art to Connect was to bring this transformation in the hearts and minds of children in the regular school.
And I had seen those videos जो आप बीच-बीच में upload करते थे ना कि अभी आया है, and was like, I was totally amazed. But I would like to ask you one important question where I think I failed.
How to approach a person with special needs, or for that matter, a parent who has a child with special needs? क्योंकि होता क्या है, ये लोग बहुत sensitive होते हैं. और क्यों होते हैं? क्योंकि most of the times in society they are being pushed away, right? And they are being looked down upon. So they become very sensitive, and many a times because of this continuous rejection and negativity or pity all around them, they get offended easily. So I wanted to approach someone, but when I tried to approach, the person got offended. So since then there has been this constant understanding, trying to understand what is the right way to approach such people so that they don't feel offended and we don't disrespect them.
Yeah, Deepa, that is a question which I have faced with many schools asking me the same question. So my reply to them is very simple. That is the exact experience we want children to have. We had this school, the Hiranandani school from Mumbai, one of the top schools we know. There was this child from there who participated, and he had to go to somebody with special needs, and like, because we consider these are very high-fi schools, high-flying schools, so how will these children go and interact? Or coming to your question on how do you break the ice with people with special needs, that is exactly the intent of Art to Connect. How do you break the ice? So we did encourage them, we told them that go tell them that there is a competition where I have to participate, and the criteria is I can participate only if somebody with special needs is there to partner with me. So yes, many challenges were there. Many schools responded saying that they are not getting anyone to participate, and there were also schools, so we told them go and approach schools with special needs. And there were many schools where they sent a circular, very cute circular, saying that our children want to participate, and there will be children in our school who will have siblings who are there with special needs. So they also engaged the siblings. For the first time in the history of school, they were sharing that their child with special needs, who was always kept away from the school, from the regular school where the other child was going, for the first time, that child was invited to the school. So, Art to Connect brought tears to so many people. So many parents shared this story with me, saying that my child with special need used to be at home and another child going to school. For the first time, my child could go because of Art to Connect. Then there is a school in Chennai, Shashikala was heading it. She brought this whole concept of Art to Connect festival. Can you believe that? This school, they invited 30 children from special needs school, not one or two for the competition. They brought the whole lot of 30 children, and the whole school got engaged with different activities with them, and they celebrated something called as Art to Connect Festival.
Wow.
Which was so as we talk, as we started saying that, 3 women, you, Nina, Deepa, Nirmala, what are we doing? We are just trying to sow that seed, that small, pebble in the water. The ripple effect we 3 don't know.
Correct.
So just keep making causes, right? Let us just keep making. Let us not be scared. One thing I don't know, I'm not scared. So I'm ready to fail. I'm ready to say that, okay, ye nahi chala Art to Connect. But I always made an effort. That's what my mother and my father, I owe everything to them. They always have told me, ki, kya hai? So what if you fail? Go and try it. No. So that kept me going. And the most beautiful part I want to share with you, to conduct the finale, I approached Kalakshetra. Kalakshetra is a prestigious heritage, place in Chennai where our Prime Minister Modi had brought the Chinese premier, and it's a very historical place.
Yes.
So when I approached the director over there, she was so kind to me. She said, Nirmala, we have got people in our organization who will be there, and they have people with special need as part of their family. So can you believe such a huge organization and heritage center like Kalakshetra offered their space to us to conduct the finale of Art to Connect?
I remember right photographs.
Yes.
So many faces, so many smiles and laughter. I was like, because sitting away, I was like, gosh, मैं भी कुछ कर पाती. And since then, this was in my thought.
And the date was so cute. It was 02/02/2020. That means 2nd February 2020. Okay, and
all too.
March 2020, the COVID happened.
COVID happened. COVID.
Yeah. So just 3 months we did this. Can you believe 3 months mein ye sara hua? And now a lot of people have been after me saying that, Nirmala, let's repeat it. And I need a lot of wishes and encouragement from everybody to do Art to Connect 2.0.
Easily waiting. So does this mean that you're announcing Art to Connect 2.0?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Thank
Yes,
you, Nina and Deepa.
Oh, so
Yes.
R2 Connect 2.0 is being announced right now.
Yes.
तो जो लोग इसे सुन रहे हैं, जो नहीं सुन रहे हैं, प्लीज उन्हें सुनाइए ताकि वो लोग इससे ज्वाइन कर सके.
Join करें. हाँ.
Nirmala ma'am, could you please say that in Hindi as well?
जी
What
बिल्कुल.
exactly they need to do और क्या, कैसे और कहाँ करना है?
कहाँ करना है?
जी, R2 Connect जो है वो ऐसा फेस्टिवल है स्कूलों में, जो रेगुलर स्कूल्स हैं उनमें, कि आपका बच्चा जो है पार्टिसिपेट करेगा सिंगिंग में, गाना गाने में, डांस करने में, नृत्य में, या फिर पेंटिंग करने में, साथ में बैठ के कलाकृति कर सकते हैं, या फिर दे कैन क्रिएट म्यूजिक, दैट मीन्स वो साथ में बैठ के कोई नई धुन बना सकते हैं. तो इस तरह से इसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं आप. और इसका अनाउंसमेंट हम यूजुअली स्कूल्स में करते हैं. इंडिविजुअल पेरेंट्स भी इसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं. तो अभी अनाउंसमेंट हुआ नहीं है, मैं इसकी तैयारी कर रही हूँ. एंड जल्दी नीना और दीपा भी किसी और एपिसोड में इसका अनाउंसमेंट करेंगे बाकी डिटेल्स के साथ में. और आपसे बस इतना कहना चाहूंगी कि ये जो इनिशिएटिव आप दोनों कर रहे हैं, दिस इज समथिंग, ये जो है दिल को छू के जिंदगी को बदल देने वाली है. सो दिस इज अ पॉडकास्ट ऑफ होप. सो आप भी कर सकते हैं, कोई भी कर सकता है. R2 Connect कोई भी कर सकता है, आप करिएगा. आपको कुछ नहीं करना है. आप जो स्पेशल नीड्स वाले लोग हैं उनके साथ में आप बैठ के एक गाना गाइएगा, उनके साथ में नृत्य करिएगा, उनके साथ में आप पेंटिंग करिएगा, आप कोई नई धुन बनाइएगा. एनीथिंग यू कैन डू. And you can send it back. I think you people can share your details for them to send it back.
Yes, ma'am. Towards the end of the episode, we'll tell them when exactly should they send their submissions by. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. This podcast of hope. This was the tagline given by you. So thank you so much for everything. We are thankful. We are grateful.
एंड वी आर रियली, जैसे आपने बोला ना, दिल से छूने के लिए, दिल से शुक्रिया. मतलब इस
आप दोनों को शुक्रिया जो इतना बड़ा काम इतनी आसानी से कर ले रहे हैं आप लोग, बस बातों बातों में, एक पॉडकास्ट में.
The inspiration is all you. क्योंकि ये 2.5 साल पहले या 3 साल पहले जब आपने शुरू किया था, तब ये थॉट आया था. और तब से ये था कि मुझे कुछ तो करना है. उस लेवल पे नहीं जिस तरह से R2 Connect था, कुछ थोड़ा सा from my side, my contribution, and thankfully I am able to do, and I've got a brilliant partner with me, Nina, who is already working for this cause. वो अपनी तरफ से अपने initiatives कर ही रही हैं. She is a part of many other groups. और we connected, and thank you.
Now for the audience, जैसा निर्मला मैम ने कहा, आप R2 Connect कभी भी किसी के भी साथ कहीं भी कर सकते हैं. तो जल्दी से किसी के साथ पेयर अप कीजिए, किसी स्पेशल नीड्स या एडिशनल नीड्स वाले पर्सन के साथ पेयर अप कीजिए, गाना गाइए, डांस कीजिए, आर्ट क्रिएट कीजिए, ड्राइंग, पेंटिंग, क्राफ्ट, कुछ भी करें. और अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस की एक छोटी सी वीडियो, मैक्सिमम 1 मिनट या 30 सेकेंड्स या 1 मिनट की वीडियो बनाइए और अपलोड कीजिए. डिस्क्रिप्शन डिटेल्स में आपको ईमेल आईडीज मिल जाएंगे और आप ये वीडियोस हमारे साथ शेयर कर सकते हैं 31 जुलाई तक. और हमें आपके वीडियोस का इंतज़ार रहेगा. और फॉर्मली कब स्कूल्स में R2 Connect का अनाउंसमेंट होगा और आप चाहते हैं कि आपके स्कूल में इसका अनाउंसमेंट हो, इसका इनिशिएटिव जाए, तो आप हमें अपना ईमेल आईडी भेजिए, अपने स्कूल का नाम भेजिए. हम वहाँ पे वो इनवाइट ज़रूर भिजवाएंगे और फॉर्मली R2 Connect को जल्दी ही बताएंगे कब हो रहा है. तब तक के लिए अपनी दुनिया का दायरा थोड़ा बढ़ाइए, थोड़ी खुशियाँ फैलाइए, खुशियाँ पाइए. और जल्दी ही नए एपिसोड में आपके साथ जल्द मुलाकात होगी किसी एक नए गेस्ट के साथ में, बहुत सारी इंटरेस्टिंग और इन्फॉर्मेटिव बातें जानने के लिए. तब तक के लिए स्वस्थ रहे, मस्त रहे, खूब खुश रहे. हैव अ ग्रेट डे. आपका दिन शुभ हो. धन्यवाद.